Hey y'all, what's going on? It is BarbMeetsWorld. I am back with another recap and review for the Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 13, entitled Sharing is Caring. Okay, let me drop this on down. And we are here, okay? We are here to talk about this show after it was off on break, I should say, for the Super Bowl. And I actually really needed that break, not only to get caught up, but because, y'all know how I've been feeling about this show. It's been working my nerves for the last couple weeks, okay? But I'm a trooper and I'm sticking it out for you guys, of course. This episode wasn't too bad. Not too much happened. But there was a couple points that made me think, and there was definitely some things that I needed to call out. So, of course, we're going to get right on into it. But before we do that, y'all, please like the video if you are just coming into the room. It helps the channel. It helps push my content. It helps bring on new viewers. So I would greatly appreciate it if you would go ahead and hit that like button for me. Thank you. And while you're at it, make sure you're subscribed to the channel because, if you're here, why not, be a part of the family? Why not become one of the Barb's babes? Okay. So hit that subscription button. After this live is up, why don't we keep the conversation going down in the comment section? I'd love to hear your thoughts, opinions on the episode, as well as my commentary. Make sure you check the description box below for all pertinent information. I do have an Amazon storefront. I have all my social media links are down there. So please, please, please make sure you're checking the description box below. And yeah, shout out to the Replay gang. We're going to go ahead and get right on into it, shall we? Because I need to also do my Married to Medicine video after this. Okay, you guys. So Gordon and Mia, I think I said it last week, but Gordon and Mia, they are always small talking and like giving cringy every time we see them, or at least for me, that's how I feel. So again, this is just one of those conversations that we see between them. And we also find out that Ashley's going to be coming over shortly. Mia asks how he liked the Happy Eddie event, and he says that he had fun. We know that he took off kind of early, right after I think they did the rolling activity or whatever. He took off. So she checks in with him with that. Ashley pops in, as I just said, and this is her first time coming over to her house. So since she downsized, production also asked Mia, did she mention the comment Karen made about her screwing a rapper? Because, of course, Mia went on to tell him how her and Karen got into it quite a bit down at the event. And I thought production was not... production's so shady. But I appreciated that because it's just very, very telling how Mia conducts herself and the lack of transparency that's in their marriage. But just as I said in my previous in my previous video about the show, I'm not going to give too much to Mia and Gordon and the dissolution of their marriage and all that, because she clearly is moving on and isn't looking in the rear view whatsoever. So I don't even really care too much. Yeah, she gonna do what she wants to do. And they both knew why they got into this marriage from the beginning, if you ask me. So yeah, we're just gonna leave it right there. And apparently, is it just me, or was Ashley saying that she used to live, this same building as the building that she used to live on with Michael, in the penthouse or whatever on 15th floor? Random, very, very random. Mia, that was news to her, and I'm just like, this just shows that y'all, none of y'all are friends on the show for real, and we're seeing it right here. Mia, you don't know nothing about Ashley and her as a human being, and she don't know nothing about you as a human being. But okay, whatever. For show's sake, you guys will act like you guys are, cool or whatever, actually care about what each other has going on in your lives. I'll let you get that off, sis. So during this entire exchange, of course, we had to open it up with Mia asking Ashley about her divorce, is where she at with it and everything, because every time someone sits down with Ashley, they're going to always open it up with those questions, because Miss Ma'am is still very much married to Schmeagle. Okay. I couldn't be me. Let's just say that. But Ashley lets us know, if we didn't already know, why she is so steadfast holding on to Michael and this marriage and prolonging this divorce. It's because of stability reasons, y'all. We know that growing up, Ashley's home life was very much Sheila had them kind of moving a lot. She says they got formally evicted twice, and she can remember all of this dysfunction dating back to when she was in second grade, and her grandmother picked her up from school and dropped her off, and her belongings were all on the curb. So she doesn't want to go through that again. She doesn't want her children to have to deal with that, and I understand that. However, the way in which she's going about it, I can't jive with, y'all. I can't, because my whole thing is, if you don't want to see yourself go down that road again, then you should be putting in the work firsthand to ensure your financial security and ensure that you keep a roof over your children's heads, y'all. But she's not doing that. And instead, she's opting to hold on to somebody or to something that is Michael Darby. I'm not really understanding that, but that's her problem. Not surprised. We all knew this already, but it's just so cringy when she goes into detailing the specifics of it all. It was just like, girl, like, help yourself first and foremost. I'm never going to stay stuck in a situation just for a financial benefit. I'm always going to have my own back at the end of the day. And I don't believe that you should, I don't believe in that level of codependency, y'all. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't. Because what type of example is that really setting for your kids then? Like, what type of example is that showing them? Like, oh, even if you really are over something, still stay in the mix because you don't want to end up homeless. Like, I don't understand. Like, no, that should just motivate you to go harder. But that's just my logic. Apparently last week, Robyn invited everyone to the DR, the Dominican Republic, aka Curtis's hangout. If you guys watch Married to Medicine, then you understand the reference. Okay. So they're all going to be going there. So everybody's kind of excited or has their own, way of looking at it. And let us not forget how Ashley's birthday turned out last year. So hopefully we don't have a repeat of what happened last year, how Mia and Jacqueline were going at it. Yeah, we don't want that to happen again. So fingers crossed that everybody gets along, right? Because, yeah, that's just so believable with this cast. No. Moving right along, Easy Like Sunday. That is the name of the restaurant that we finally get Aneka and Wendy to sit down and have this one-on-one conversation. Okay, before we even get into that, I thought Wendy's outfit was super cute, although I saw some mixed reviews on social media about it. I thought she looked super cute, definitely giving Black Barbie vibes, which, oh my God, y'all, speaking of Black Barbie, and this is not even on purpose. I promise you it's not, but it's so funny that I said that, because how do you guys like my sweatshirt pullover, 50 Shades of Barbie by Community Love. I got this actually last time I was in DC when this is way too coincidental of a moment, and it was not planned, but I got this from a Black-owned boutique by the name of Community Love. And I think they have an Instagram also. I'm not sponsored for this at all. This is not an ad or anything like that. I just thought it was coincidental given the fact that I'm talking about Wendy looking like a Black Barbie, and I got on a 50 Shades of Barbie freaking pullover sweatshirt. Like, vibes. Whew, but where are we? Okay, so Wendy and Nneka, they're finally having this one-on-one sit down, and it started off really cringy because you can clearly tell one, Wendy don't want to be there, and two, it's cringy because I don't trust Nneka at this point in time. I'm sorry, I don't. And Nneka's whole thing is, I wanted us to talk to see if we could move forward or kind of clear up some things that could have been misinterpreted or whatever. All that fluff. And I say fluff because I don't believe she wanted peace, just as Wendy said. I believe that she just wanted to come in here and act as though she was the victim in all this and act as though Wendy started this whole thing, when I don't believe that at all. I don't agree with that at all. And I'm not apologetic for not believing her at all. Sorry. Well, not sorry, but y'all know what I mean. Y'all know what I mean. And Wendy's whole thing is, she came to this this meetup, I should say, because the implication that Nneka is putting out there as it pertains to her mother being a witch can be very damaging, is very damaging to their culture. And attacking her mother just took things over the edge for her, which she said since the beginning. Also, this is not news. This was nothing new. I totally understand her qualm with it. I fully understand that. Nneka seems to be the only person not grasping that concept. And we see that even more during this exchange. So Nneka's story is that 2 weeks prior to her joining the group and her first interaction with Ashley, Ivy, which is Wendy's sister, told Lebe that Wendy informed her that another person would be joining the circle of friends, and she wasn't happy about it. And that set the tone with her, as it appeared that they didn't want her around her. They didn't like her. That is Nneka's rendition of it. And she only called her mom a witch after she received said phone calls. To Wendy, those are all completely false implications, yet again. And she responds by saying the most major overarching point of the matter, at least to me, y'all, and that is that she called her mother a witch. And again, none of this has been, founded. These are completely unfounded. So it's just like, can we talk about what really occurred then? Because let's talk about the actual concrete facts of the matter, which is you came in here calling my mother a witch and calling me the B word that rhymes a witch. So can we focus on that instead of you trying to grasp at straws and bring forth information that can't be substantiated? Cuckoo, cuckoo. So the question is, outside of your false claims, what did I do to you? That's what Wendy asked Nneka. What did I do to you? Again, besides all of these things that cannot be substantiated in this moment, let's focus on what really did occur that we can both agree on, which is that you called my mom a witch and you called me a... let's focus on that. What did I do to cause you to take it to those lengths, huh? And Aneka has nothing to say in response other than, again, trying to make it about her sister or her mom or whatever. Your family was acting on your behalf, and your mom sent my name to a shrine. It's impacted me, my family, everyone. And honestly, I don't even want to talk about this. Just like a lot of people don't want to talk about this because we and I don't know if you guys watched the Watch What Happens live. If you guys missed it, first of all, the Grand Dame looked amazing, and it was Karen and Dr. Jackie up there, but I believe there was a player from the Lions. Is that Detroit? The Detroit Lions. Shout outs to Auntie Bernice because that's her team. But there was a player from that team, and he was there with his mom. They were behind the bar or whatever, and his mother. They are Nigerian, and she said exactly what I've been hearing everybody who is Nigerian or has some type of cultural competency about themselves and cultural intelligence, I should say. Everybody has said exactly what she said, which is like, that's like, no, like this, even to talk about this on a public platform that is Bravo's The Real Housewives of Potomac, The Real Housewives franchise, whatever. Like, that's a major no. Like, we don't even do that. And that's my issue as well. It's like, Aneka's trying to all of a sudden do the whole Nigerian to Nigerian thing. And I'm like, that's not even the type of energy you came in on, yo. Like, it's not. So don't try to act like that's the case here. You didn't care about it being a fellow Nigerian, uplifting a fellow Nigerian. That's not the energy you came in here with. And you're trying to sit here and make it seem like you were the victim in all this, and this could have been brought harm to you and your lineage and this and that, when that's exactly what you did. And we have the concrete receipts of that. Everything you're saying, again, has been completely, we don't have no receipts that this happened. And you keep trying to use Lebe as a freaking credible source, and we don't know her from a can of paint. We saw her all of one time on here, and she didn't clear anything up. So stop trying to use her as a credible source to back you up in this, because it's not working. Not for me. It might be working for some of y'all. Let me know in the comments below what your take is. But this is just how I feel, and I feel like Aneka's full of shit. Since Nneka wants to be the victim so badly, she's even willing to, again, she's even willing to put the shrine matter to the side in order to move forward. Again, I call BS. I don't feel like that's she only threw that out there just to appease Wendy in the moment, just so she could only retrogress back into her victimhood cocoon. And Wendy even propositioned her, y'all. She even propositioned her to apologize about the comments she made about her mom and all that, calling her, a witch and all that. And Nneka does say she apologizes for calling her mom the name of a witch. I was like, why did you have to word it like, whatever. And she, what is this? Sorry, I got a notification, y'all. She does try to say that, but again, she quickly retracts or retrogresses, if you ask me. And in her confessional, she even tries to say that, when she knew she was coming into this group, with another Nigerian in the group, she thought they would be listening to Afro beats and just having a kiki about both being, Igbo and all that. But that's not what she received at all. Like that's not the energy that was reciprocated at all. And again, she's trying to flip this so hard, and it's really only making her look like a cultural black sheep, if you ask me. She looks like she's in the wrong if you really are looking at it without a biased lens on your face. If you're really looking at it for what it is, y'all, you would see exactly what I'm talking about right now. It's just crazy to me. In the end, Wendy says, clearly it's going to be what's going to be. We can coexist. I'm moving forward because you don't want peace. And with that being said, exactly. That was cute. I didn't know it did that. Is it? Because I've seen the thumb one before. Anyway, whatever. And I'm not mad at her for that. There's only certain, you can only come at me wrong in so many ways before I cut you off. Like there's certain lines that you will cross with me, and like there's no coming back. And I say that with zero remorse. I'm not saying that as a threat. I'm saying that as a fact. And if I was in Wendy's shoes, I would have been over her too. You've already burned the bridge of all bridges. There's no other way to get back in the city. Meanwhile, over at Candiace and Chris's house, she's showing him her new Lady Dior, which retailed for almost $2,400, $2,395 to be exact. And I was like, yep, that's about on par, and that's exactly why I don't have one yet. Okay, yet, but it was cute nonetheless. I do have to say, however, I'm not always like a super fan of how Candiace, like, I don't know, just the way she be like talking to him or like comes off sometimes is just very off-putting. And I was a little put off by her, I don't know, the way she was talking with this during the scene, I should say. Y'all let me know in the comments how you felt. But the purse quickly turns into them talking about IVF. And well, actually, even before the IVF, let me backtrack here. Chris brings up a point that I've been thinking, and I think I actually mentioned on some of my reviews for the previous or for the beginning episodes of this season, and that is that my how the roles have turned. And I say that because it's like, wow, okay, so you used to really be getting on him about being that rooftop job or whatever. She used to really get on to him about not being present in the home as much. But now she's the one that's less present in the home. She's about to kick off the second half of this tour or whatever. She's booked and busy, which is awesome. But again, that doesn't negate the fact that you definitely had an issue with him being outside of the home so much. And now that those roles have reversed, and it's almost as though she wasn't even like being serious also about with the conversation. And I'm like, ooh, that's not a good trait to have, to be the one in the relationship where when you say something to your partner, they need to take it serious. You need to see actions. We need to see change behavior. Like you hold their feet to the fire and without any chuckles involved. But Candiace kind of strikes me, and at least in this moment, she struck me as the person in the relationship that kind of, I'm not going to say trivial. That like kind of trivializes things or kind of downplays things when the shoe is on the other foot. Like when it's her that's in the quote unquote wrong, so to speak, it's all like funny. It's all like less than serious. It's all like, I'll stay home, you know, like it's all just downplayed. And I'm only bringing this up, y'all, because if I'm being 100% transparent, which I always love to do with you guys, because I can only be me at the end of the day, unapologetically, I used to carry this trait in my own relationship, my own marriage, where I, at one point, was looked at as the one that when certain things were brought up to me, I appeared as though I wasn't taking them as serious as when the shoe is on the other foot, as when I have an issue with you. And that is something that I really had to step back and analyze. And I didn't feel as though I was doing that. It was just differences in communication styles, I guess, in my situation. And maybe that's the case here too. And maybe she's not even purposely coming off as that, as that type of person. But that's just, again, that was just what I was picking up from it. Y'all, please let me know what you guys think about what I just said. Am I making sense? Anyway, going straight in from that conversation, we quickly turn into the IVF journey and how now that you're away from home more, this is only gonna kind of make us tortoises in the race to conceive. And I'm like, I feel like, I mean, I understand his point, and I also understand Candiace's point. And more so, she was concerned with, as she said in previous episodes, when we found out about her health scare, that she potentially had some I believe it was some tissue, nodules. I believe, I was going to say tissue right now. I don't remember the exact verbiage, but she had some tissues that could have appeared to be that despicable C word, cancerous. And she actually whips out a note from her doctor, or a letter from her doctor, saying that when they did the tests and everything, it came back as not cancerous. So that's good. However, Candiace is still on I want this ish out of my body ASAP, no questions asked. I don't care if it's cancerous or not, get it out of here, period. And I totally understand that, especially with her saying that she is somebody who has had individuals in their family have been diagnosed with breast cancer. So I totally understood. It runs in her family. I totally understand that. That would be the same way. But on Chris's point, I also understand how he's like, well, like, girl, like, it was an issue when I was away. Now you away, like, come on. Like, I get that. And I really hope this is something that they can make good on and compromise and kind of make the best decision for all parties involved. I'm really hoping that. But I don't know. It's going to take some deep empathy. Moving right along, Grace's graduation. We know that Grace is currently at FAMU, and this episode we saw her graduate. And these are the types of moments I really enjoy seeing Gizelle in, when she is with, her daughter. That's the only time she's really likable, y'all. At least for me. If I'm lying, I'm flying. If y'all don't feel the same, please let me know. These are the only moments that we really get from Gizelle that I can be like, oh, okay, like that I can really stomach her. Because anything else, no ma'am. No ma'am, no ma'am, no ma'am. And I know that she was very, very grateful, very happy that her dad recently passed, I believe, after this. She was so grateful, I'm sure, that he was able to be present for to witness her oldest at least graduate high school. I know if she has one not tainted bone in her body, then she felt like that. Hi, my love. I love you. Hey, Feisty. Hey, Mims. Gizelle was enjoyable to watch when Karen asked her, "Is Jamal coming?" That was the only time I enjoyed seeing her on my screen. Yeah. It's moments like that, Mims, that I also can, those are the only times I can really stomach her, honestly, is when we're seeing her either be made fun of or when she's with her daughters. So this was a rare scene with Gizelle not pissing me off. And right from there, we see Aneka, Mia, and Robyn meet up to shop. And, I'm doing the air quotes because we always see them shopping, but never really buying anything. So they're shopping for the upcoming DR trip. And we didn't really get much in this scene. Mia lets them know her and Karen are good during this moment. This week, that could change in an instant, we know. And they're good because she knows how to handle Karen, or she knows how to analyze her and know okay, this is the type of energy she's on. I know how to handle you today. So they're good. And Aneka tells them that she spoke to Wendy and she apologized for calling her out of her name and, saying the things she said about her mom and all that. She just took all the accountability in the world, you guys, and the responsibility in the world. Oh my gosh. And Wendy just didn't care. She didn't receive it. It wasn't good enough. And Robyn's all over there co-signing. And I'm just like, you look for any... You're talking about things that aren't good enough, yet you're the same person that when Candiace tried to clear things up with you, that wasn't good enough for you. So you really are one to talk, Miss Robyn Dixon. Okay. Karen better watch out if that DJ don't work out. Ray is definitely age appropriate for me. You know what? I honestly was thinking more about how didn't Gordon have a little crush on Karen at one moment in time back a couple seasons ago? I thought about that during this episode and I was just like, ugh, because whose video was I watching? Can't remember, but I was watching someone's video and they made mention of how a lot of the majority of this cast, they all they're all in age gap relationships. Mia, Karen, Ashley. I think that's it. That's it, right? Yeah. Mia, Karen, Ashley. Which would... I don't know if Candiace would qualify. I mean, I know there's some years in between her and Chris, but it's not anything that major, at least to me. So I wouldn't really count her. But they actually have a lot more in common than they actually think on this show. Well, that age group has the higher... Ooh, I see your hands. Wife swap for us. Ooh. At this point in time, I wouldn't put it past them. Because we see, especially with a couple of these ladies in particular, that they are always going to drop it down to the lowest possible integer for a storyline. So yeah. So after that, we get to the day of the trip. They're off again to the DR to Curtis's hangout. If you watch Marriage to Medicine again, y'all know why I'm saying that. Ha ha, he he. Not sorry. And Kiarna's on the trip, which y'all, we find... Actually, I think I tweeted this because I was just so here for my girl. Kiarna looked so cute in her confessional. Just look at it. She looked so freaking cute. And actually, this I actually got a lot of engagement on this tweet. So if you guys are not following me on Twitter, make sure you're following me on Twitter, because my live tweets, it gets pretty serious sometimes. So but I wanted to throw that up there to show you we finally got a confessional look from Miss Kiarna herself. Because again, I was so happy to see her on this trip, y'all, and not Sharice. Y'all, let me know in the comments below if you guys missed Sharice on this trip. If you guys were happy that Sharice was not on this trip, please, everybody raise your hands now. So happy Sharice was not on this trip. Much rather see Kiarna. However, I do kind of have like one question for her, but we'll get into that. Gizelle, fake relationship is I'm not even going to raise my blood pressure over that fake relationship, because like, no, I don't believe it. I don't think anyone on earth that has their wits about them believes that that's really what she's making it up to be. I just can't. I cannot with her. And she showed more of that side during the end of this, towards the end of this episode. So we have to talk about that as well. But again, day of the trip, they're off. They're about to take over the DR. And Robyn, she lets us know that she already knew Kiarna through Gizelle, and Gizelle knows Kiarna through Cal. They were both in the hair industry. They were both stylists or whatever. So, of course, they knew each other. We know that Cal does Gizelle's hair poorly. So that makes sense. And I think I saw a couple of questions on Twitter, like a lot of people saying like, okay, who's friend, is Kiarna then? Like, is she just the way that she was introduced kind of left people questioning whose friend was she? I felt as though later on, again, I felt like Gizelle was trying to collect her, if you ask me, but we'll see. So they reached the villa. It looked beautiful. Actually, going too fast here. I really didn't understand why Karen told that story about Ray. Apparently, this is the same villa of which Ray goes every single year on his annual golfing trip. This is the same villa or whatever. And 27 years ago, Karen called down to said villa and asked, like, where's my husband or whatever. And a woman answered the phone and said, Mr. Raymond not available, or something to that effect. And I was just like, girl, why would you say that? Especially in front of people like freaking Robyn, who looks for every opportunity under the sun to make fun of you, troll you, whatever, like to throw shade at you. Why would you even like? And it actually sucks that you even have to think twice about divulging stuff like this in front of these ladies, because y'all are supposed to be friends. This is supposed to be a sisterhood or whatever. It's clearly not, because you can't even really say what's really going on in your life, or even bring up a funny story from fear of it possibly being used against you later on down the road. The bus doesn't go all the way to the DR, so Sharice couldn't go. Feisty, yeah, you're done. You're done. Corner, you're done. Sharice couldn't go because spirits don't fly to DR. Y'all are not about to do this right now, because I'm not gonna be able to finish the freaking review. You guys, feisty Sharice is giving back. I see her and it's just like, yeah, just got off my freaking, like, I don't want to say that because it's gonna sound mean, but it's not what we want to see. So again, super glad that Kiarna was here instead. So glad. Except, hey, dope girl, yeah, that's me. It's fake, very much so. Sharice gives, I just worked a double shift, but I'm meeting my friends at the bar and pack the clothes I'm going to change into, the trunk. Yep, Yep. That's what I meant right there. Barb, I think Karen doesn't care if Robyn makes fun of her. Karen be getting Robyn. Yes, which I mean, I'm not gonna deny that. I'm not gonna deny that. Y'all, I'm sure you guys know by now and have heard by now how Karen got Robyn together down at the BravoCon. So I'm not saying that Karen shouldn't say stuff because out of fear or anything like that, but it's just like I needed to say that just to highlight the fact that they really aren't friends. Because if my friend tells me something out of humor, I'm just gonna laugh. I'm not gonna have any like malicious or let me put this in my back pocket for later. It's just too calculated. Because it's an exclusive and expensive villa. Beyonce and Bezos own villas there on a private island. Karen looks for any moment to give an air of wealth and justify her justify her cheat. Wait, Mims, what? Oh God, not the cheating now. Yeah, yeah. Because going back to that story, I mean, I was with Gizelle. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I pride myself on being unbiased, on being objective. So I'm going to give credit where credit is due and say that I was definitely with Gizelle when she was like, because what cleaning lady is going to answer the phone? Huh? Like, I was thinking too, kind of like, wow, that was very bold of her. I mean, my cleaning lady don't be answering my phone. So I just thought that it worked like that all across the board. But who am I? Who am I, y'all? Anyway, so I think, yeah, at this point, we finally reach the destination. Again, very, very beautiful. Gizelle, no cultural intelligence at all. Casa Linda, who's Linda? Like, go home. Can't take you anywhere. Gosh. So the rooms, there is, where is it? Right here. There's some double rooms as you see, and then there's some single rooms as you see. And again, there's 9 women total. So y'all do the math. Yeah, I thought so, right? It's not really mathing, right? Okay. Yeah, and it wasn't really mathing for some of them either. So of course, because they are attached at the Gucci, if you ask me, Robyn gives first room to Gizelle because they always share room, and she was trying to give her, I guess, what she deserved and give her her own room for once. And I'm just like, I mean, yeah, y'all share because you guys are attached to the Gucci. Like, I would make you guys share too. Like, first of all, we shouldn't even have to make you guys. Y'all want to share. Shut up. And then she gives the second room to Aneka because she's the new girl, and like we just need to bring her into the fold and give her her own room, her own sanctuary. Like, nothing but that type of stuff chaps my booty more. Like, just And of course, Robyn always needs to try to humble Karen. So of course she said, yeah, double room for you. And Karen was like, oh no, ma'am. That's what we're not going to do. Ma'am, can you help me? Yeah. Yeah. How much? I think she said 5,000 pesos or something. Yeah. Yeah. I want my own room. That's not happening. Yes. Feisty. Karen is very much me. If there's if you've ever traveled with me, if you know me, I'm not just going to lay my head anywhere that I'm not comfortable with. I will always, I am a Hilton Diamond member for a reason. Like, I'm not just going to be anywhere. So I totally understood Karen in that. And I also think it's also like an age thing too with her or whatever. It's like I'm way too grown to like need to be laying 10 feet away from y'all. So I understood that. should worry about the female pastors answering Jamal's phone. Okay. Yes, real kitty clickers. So y'all, we know the GEBs stay amongst each other. Come on. Hey, my cousin, how are you doing this evening? Rob is used to building houses, not selecting rooms. That's really what she gives, and that's why I said what I said last week when when they did the whole what was it, the whole unpacking party BS. I was like, yeah, what Robyn was wearing, that just looked like her regular everyday attire. Like she just so ugh. Yes, and that exactly for situations like this. I never want anyone to be in a situation where they be quiet, Alexa, where they have to put up with accommodations that aren't up to their liking just because you can't either afford it or whatever. Like always have you a little something on the side so that you don't have to be uncomfortable, I should say. Who is Richard to humble somebody she didn't pick? Exactly. But she's going to, Richard, y'all, if you don't know, is Robyn. She's always going to look for a way to poke fun at Karen. That's just, she gets up in the morning, she takes her phone, and she literally goes to her freaking Excel spreadsheet of ways in which I can troll Karen Huger today. That's literally what she does. I don't like sharing bathrooms either. And TMI, but I love y'all. I don't care. Yeah, I need to get access to a bathroom, my bathroom, when I need to get access to my bathroom. Whatever. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Sharing rooms as is for real content. Yeah, like what are we doing? Because at the end of the day, if I need to be away from all of y'all at the end of the day, especially after long days of filming, I feel like the Beverly Hills girls, can we do it like them? Because I'm way too grown at this point. I'm only sharing a room with my husband, and that's because that kind of comes with the deal. No, I'm kidding. I love you, babe. But no, for real. Like I like my space, and especially after a long day of filming, I don't want to see none of y'all until they hit record in the morning. Like I need to go retreat when I need to retreat. Maybe that's a Gemini in me. Like, and that's why I am an ambivert, because I can be social and be out here and be over here and be and then when I need to recluse and go into my bubble, that's what I need to do. And I can do that in the privacy of my own room. I mean, hey, I'm just saying, I ain't staying just anywhere, okay? And I'm glad y'all understand me. I'm sick of Roger Bob talking ass. Like, let's not forget, she's the one who dressed as a pizza man to see if Karen still lived in Potomac. And that is the point I'm trying to make, y'all. Stuff like that. Like, way too much time on your hands. Couldn't be me. Plus, Robyn and Gizelle prefer sharing rooms. And that's the point I'm also trying to make. At the end of the day, y'all are attached at the hip, at the booty cheek any other day. So are you really complaining, or are you just putting on? I think it's the latter of the two. That's why Gizzard has a doggy door for Ron in that dilapidated crack house. Oh my gosh. I need to pull you. I don't know. My good sis Nola is not in here, but I sent her this picture the other day and it just made me laugh so hard. I'm gonna show it at the end of this or whatever. Gizelle's house. If y'all don't know what Gizelle's house looks like, save your retinas, save your irises, whatever. Save them the trouble. Just take my word for it. You don't want to see it. Anyway, I also need to mention that Kiarna's ulcer had, because of the drinking, it was irritated, inflamed, whatever. So she had to go retreat to the privacy of a bathroom. So again, everybody just needs their own rooms from here on out. Like, I don't know why we're still having this argument all these seasons later. Ashley does attempt to give Karen her room in exchange. Again, at this point, Karen was like, I'm not sharing a room, especially with Mia. I can't trust her. And if I have to F her up, I mean, I will. And I'd much rather do it from the comfort of this couch out here in the open when there's nothing but space and opportunity. I understood that as well. So in the end, though, like I said, Ashley says, hey, you can have my room. Everything is worked out. Now Karen can be in there by herself. And Ashley is now going to room with Mia. Karen, now you're in debt to Ashley, and I wouldn't trust her. That's one person I do not want to be indebted to, because we know that Ashley is the stereotypical really good housewife. And she be pulling some tricks out of her sleeve that I just, no, I don't want to have to owe you anything, mama. I'm good. And again, when I said before that I was kind of unsure who Kiarna's friend, who she was supposed to be brought into this group on behalf of or whatever, when I said that, I was saying that because at this point in the episode, we see Gizelle coming in to check on Kiarna. Again, I told you she ran off, her ulcer was acting up, and, you know, she's better now, but she did run off and stuff, and she wasn't feeling well at one point in time. So Gizelle goes in to check on her, and it pissed me off because it wasn't genuine. It pissed me off because she only did it to exploit Wendy and I guess Candiace or whatever, and try to make them look like they're bad friends or whatever because they hadn't checked on her. Like, what kind of friends are you guys, really, if you don't even check on your poor sick friend? And I'm like, it was more about proving that point and making them look bad than it was about you genuinely caring about this girl's health. If y'all tell me I'm wrong, it's going to go on one ear, not the other. You can't tell me I'm wrong. You can't tell me wrong with my assessment, because Gizelle has proven time and time again that she will stop at nothing to continue to play the victim, to continue to make certain women on this cast look bad. She's historic Gizelle behavior, very much on brand for Gizelle, aka the leader of the Green-Eyed Bandits. Looks like a mismatched off-brand. Oh, wait, I already read that one. She's a white woman. Just say it, Barb. She's the true definition of a care. Gizelle, yes. Gizelle very much is. And that is why I can't empathize with anything she really ever does, because I'm a true definition of not a Karen. So it's like oil and water. In reality, everyone knows the new friend. She's connected to all of them by Gizzard. I feel like we've learned in other franchises and other seasons or whatever, we all know how the friend of's dynamics really work. And that half the time they don't even really know each other for real. It just needed to make sense, so to speak, for a person to come in on behalf of somebody else, other than this just random person just dropping out into a random group of people, even though that's exactly what's happening usually. Or multiple people are, familiar with the person. It's like one of those two types of things usually. And again, that's only more of a reason as to why Gizelle was so full of ish in this scene. But just like the green-eyed bandit she is, she outdoes herself every time, y'all. And I say that to only go on to say that after this moment, Gizelle, Mia, Ashley, and Robyn, I want to say, they all sat down outside or whatever. And Gizelle goes on to tell them that, you know, she had heard that Karen took Naka. I'm saying it wrong on purpose because that is exactly how Gizelle said it. And I need to emphasize that because that's only going to help me prove my point. Y'all stay with me. She goes on to explain that Karen took Naka on said a tour of Potomac or whatever, and she told her that she lives in North Potomac. She don't even live in Potomac. And because of that, because of what Karen said, because she is who she is, Gizelle is now going to crown Naka the Grand Dame, the new Grand Dame of Potomac, because she actually lives in insert Potomac's freaking zip code here. She lives there. She didn't really like that. She didn't really like that Karen did that. So, like the true frenemy she is, she uses this as an opportunity to also do a coronation and take back the title and reissue it to someone else, because she's the one that issued that issued that title to Karen all those years ago anyway, or whatever. So she could retract it at any moment. What power do you? As my cousin just said, you, Gizelle, you might have authority to rule over everything and retract statements and issue statements, or retract things and issue things, whatever. You might have all those powers at that dilapidated crack house that you live in. But here, right where we are right here, no, like, no, ma'am, you can't do that. Like, you can't do that. And if it was me, I would have did exactly what Candiace did. I don't have time for this. This is stupid. Always trying to pull something. We don't have time for that. Maybe she was trying to be funny, but I didn't find it funny because I don't find Gizelle funny. I find her mean. I find her to be a garbage person. I find her to have a black heart. No, she says it's because Neckbone owns her own home in North Potomac, even though Gizzard lives in Bethesda with Chauncey. Yes. Also need to throw that in there too. Yes, that she's an actual home owner in the zip code of Potomac, while Karen's over here renting her home and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, low-hanging fruit. Hi. Yes, crack house, my dear, a crack house. Out, because I don't have time for the antics. I don't. She's barely said 2 words all season, and when she does, it's to take shots at Karen, which is just corny, and that's only more of the reason why Karen is the fan favorite. And why other people get booed. Like, that Kinkle having no driveway, having Heffa is miserable. Go back to Bethesda. Yeah, it was so desperate to me and just like corny, because you didn't just do this on a whim. Like, this wasn't just like a funny thing that is just like, oh, we ain't got nothing else to do, let's make fun of Karen. Like, which is still corny, but I would at least get that a little bit more, because it's like, whatever, like, it just light bulb came in your head at that exact moment. But no, this was This was strategically calculated, and you purposely packed that crown and sash, which means you went out and spent money. You spent your money, time, and energy, all those things. Then you freaking gave up however much space in your suitcase to actually designate a spot in your suitcase to bring these items. That's so corny to me. Like, that's who has time for that? She needs to join some types of clubs or something, because anyway, a dilapidated crack house. Don't forget dilapidated part. It's very important. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, y'all. And I would like her to go back there right now. Right freaking now. Please go back there. But again, I mean, I'm not gonna say this is a filler episode or I didn't, enjoy parts of it or, have something to say obviously about parts of it. I've been up here for over an hour at this point. We're really getting down to the end, y'all. I think we have how many episodes do we have, y'all? Left? 3, 2, 3. It's not a lot. It's not a lot, which is why it's so crazy to me that we took this long to have this sit down between Aneka and Wendy, but whatever, I digress. I'm going to finish it out, of course. We're going to finish it out, but again, it's crazy to watch because we all know that these ladies aren't really friends like that. It's just weird at times. It's very weird at times. Candiace is right. That droopy neck, swollen Kenko grunge takes pleasure in making people miserable. Because it's like you're on a beautiful island. You're on a freaking amazing resort with all these amenities, I'm sure. Yet you take time to do stuff like this. And that is why other franchises are currently blowing this one out the water, because they spend so much of their time on this particular show doing stuff like this, which is not enjoyable to really watch. It's not. We're not getting that reunion no time soon. Andy just now asking for a question. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. And I'm going to make a separate video. I wanted to make another video today, but I'm going to come back here and do my Married to Medicine after this. But the other video I'll just do tomorrow and talk about just some other general Housewives stuff across the board. I don't know what is going on right now in the Housewives universe, but to this point, down at the Atlanta, like there's just a lot going on everywhere. So I'm not really holding my breath on any of that. I thought we'd have Dubai back by now. We don't. So I say that to say we're gonna thug it out for the rest of this season. Who knows what next season has in store, or if we'll even ever see it. Maybe that's a good thing. But I would give, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this episode a 7, which I feel like for this show is pretty generous. Y'all let me know in the comments. Y'all let me know in the chat what you guys would score this episode on a scale of 1 to 10. If you enjoyed my video, please, let's keep this conversation going on in the comments below. Don't forget to check that description box again for all pertinent information. Make sure you like the video if you have not already. I don't know what you're doing. Like the video, please. And yeah, you guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel as always, and I will see you guys in the next one. Oh, wait. A -2. Okay. You know, we all have our views on it. We all have our views on it, but for me, I will say this episode was a little bit better than what we have been getting. And what we didn't get a whole lot, but again, I feel like a 7 for this show to me right now is like a 10 because mm, mm, mm. Y'all know how I've been feeling all season for the most part. Love you guys, and again, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.